Open Minds Media. Bizarre Inquiries with Shayn Orin.
What is up, guys, and welcome back to the long-awaited Bizarre Inquiries, because it's been a few weeks, unfortunately, since we've dropped an episode. But we are back, and we are making sure that we are doing an episode for you guys this week. I am the one that some refer to as Shayn Squatch, and alongside with me here I have...
the big bad Boo Daddy, Orin Felix.
the legendary Big Bad Boo Daddy Orin Felix. The man, the legend, Orin Felix.
Probably neither one of those things, but anyway.
Hey, if you're a legend in your own head, that's half the battle, right? That's how these prominent leaders get ahead, is they're a legend already in their own heads.
Yeah, well, I don't even like myself, so I certainly don't expect anybody else to. But
ooh, letting out some dark humor there, I see.
it wasn't humorous, but why don't you tell everybody what we got cooking up tonight, Shayn?
So today for you guys, we have, actually, it was something that was sent to me by, I guess you could call her almost like my sister-in-law. It's my girlfriend's sister, Megan, and she didn't necessarily send this as something for us to use for the show, but rather something that she wanted me to check out. And so I thought it would be something that would be interesting to bring onto the show, because it's something that's not typically reported on too often as far as the local news goes for Detroit. And as everybody knows, I am from the Detroit area, so that's why we're going to be talking about this one today. But before we get into it, let me see if I can bring up this article so that you guys can see what we're looking at here, because there also is a video attached to this. So let's see, bring up entire screen and share. Let me know if you can see it. Can you see it, Orin?
It says Shane Jones has started screen sharing, but I don't see any screen share. Oh, there we go.
Okay, so now you see it. Michigan man claims he was attacked by a Bigfoot. Belief and skepticism keep the debate alive. And I won't necessarily read this whole entire article. I'll read some of the starting portion to it to give you guys a little bit of background, and then we will show you guys the video. And I know a lot of you guys listen to this show not as the YouTube show, but as audio-based, so I will also include the link down in the show description so that you guys can check it out yourselves if you guys are listening on audio. But hopping into this one, we've heard of mysterious beings like UFOs, aliens, and ghosts, but here in Michigan, we have our own mystery we're trying to solve. It's whether Bigfoot is out there or not, which, again, we're trying to figure that out everywhere, man. It's not just Michigan. Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch, for anybody that obviously has been living under a rock, has been a prominent figure in folklore and legends for centuries, captivating the imagination of people around the world with tales of giants, humanoid creatures roaming the wilderness. The legend of Bigfoot traces back to indigenous communities across North America, while numerous tribes sharing stories of mysterious ape-like beings that dwell in the forest. Over the years, sightings and encounters with Bigfoot have only added to the mystique surrounding this elusive creature. In fact, there's an organization in Michigan called the Upper Peninsula Bigfoot/Sasquatch Research Organization, just like, every other one that ends with research organization. But
that acronym really doesn't roll off the tongue, does it?
No, and it has the split in the middle because they have Bigfoot/Sasquatch, so it'd be like UPBSRO. UPBSRO. I mean, it sounds a little bit better if you just say the letters than if you try to hyphenate it like MUFON or something.
Yeah, it's still a mouthful. They might need to workshop that one a little bit more.
Yeah, they might have to fix that one a bit. Northern Michigan Sasquatch Research, maybe? Just throwing them out there. If you guys end up using that, you guys should give us a ping there. But that's hunting for the creature in hopes of proving its existence. A name that has been synonymous with tales of the elusive creature is Casey Dorset. We first broke the story back in February 2023 on the Michigan native capturing the imaginations of cryptid enthusiasts and skeptics alike. With a background steeping in mystery and fascination for the unknown, Dorset's alleged encounter with the legendary creature has become a focus in the realm of cryptozoology. While he's not revealing where in Michigan he lives, aside from confirming he's in the Upper-Lower Peninsula, Dorset has...
Upper-Lower Peninsula.
Yeah, for Michiganders, so you got the two peninsulas.
That's like some Middle West shit I can't even wrap my head around.
It's the Lower Peninsula, but the northern tip of the Lower Peninsula. That's the best way to describe it for anybody that's not familiar. But
carry on.
While he's not revealing where in Michigan he lives, aside from confirming he's in the lower peninsula, Dorset has been documenting his alleged encounters with the creature and sharing them on his TikTok page, racking up thousands of views. Dorset has recently added to the fuel of this debate by posting a video on his TikTok claiming he was attacked by Bigfoot. He takes viewers on a walk through the woods and shows them signs that Bigfoot is out there or something. If you watch to the end, he was knocked out cold. And I guess we will hop onto the video so that you guys can see it, and then we will go back to the article. So I will bring it up here on TikTok. And, of course, I already gave him a shout-out, so turn this one up a little bit. Oh, pause the video. Here you go.
Should we be narrating this? I feel like it's just riveting people watching us here.
I like when you
staring
narrate.
in
You
silence.
can narrate.
All right, it's about to get crazy, he says. All right, man with a GoPro on his head. So, we're going to back off 150 yards. Wait for nightfall. When they start, come out. And hopefully catch them out here, more out in the open. I know if I stay next to the cedar, they're just not going to come up. I missed the end of that. Damn it, now I won't be able to follow the narrative.
Basically, he's going to back off and see if they come out.
Get them on film that way. As soon as they come out of the cedar swamp to start heading out to feed. So I'm going to set up about 150 yards away. Yeah, you already said that. Turn the camera back on. Oh, now we're in night vision.
Plan did not work. It's obvious they don't want him here. They're throwing rocks and sticks.
Oh, man.
You hear the grunt in the background?
I can't hear the audio. He said, damn it, all right, guys.
He's like, I'm out of here.
Just a big mistake. Definitely shouldn't have come back here. God damn it. Going back to the bedroom was not a good idea. That's what she said. And they're throwing stuff right now. Also what she said. Jesus Christ, big rocks and everything. Just going to get out of here as quick as I can.
Boom! And he falls, knocked out cold.
Knocked out cold.
And then can you hear any of the audio from this, Orin?
I cannot hear the audio at all. That's
So
why I'm just narrating it to myself.
if you can't hear the audio, there's like heavy breathing and grunting happening right now as it's dark. And you hear woods thrashing around. You hear some and like some footsteps and like sticks crunching and stuff.
This motherfucking Blair Witch got him.
Dude, literally. So for anybody who wants to check this out, of course, I will also include the link down in the show description. But for anybody watching on YouTube, you guys got to see it. So hopping back a little bit more, let's see here. Ironically, Michigan State Police arrested a person dressed as a Bigfoot that same day at Doster's alleged assault, which again, may be part of a news article. I don't know, because assumably if there was anything weird like this that people possibly found, they would probably try to cover it up. But on the other side, again, there are hoaxers out there. Countless ironic incidents, eyewitness accounts, and blurred photographs have fueled speculation about the existence of this cryptid, sparking debate and expeditions to uncover the truth behind the legend. Separating truth from tall tales can be as challenging as spotting the creature itself. For every believer in the existence of Bigfoot, there's a skeptic ready to debunk the myth. Scientific explanations, misidentified, and logical reasoning often challenging the
Fantastical.
There it is. Fantastical narrative surrounding the hairy hominid. The clash between belief and skepticism keeps the debate alive. But I don't think I need to read too much farther in there. It comes from Click on Detroit. So, mainstream news station. So, assumably, it's just like the conspiracy one that you brought onto the show that they're going to say, here's the information. And then they do this quick backpedal thing right after. But
not really. Yeah.
I'll let you kind of give your thoughts on it and then I'll hop back in on this one.
So granted, I could not hear the audio, which sounds like it was the best part, but
I did it pretty close though with the grunts. Like I was listening to it, it sounded pretty identical. I'm pretty proud of myself there.
Give us another one, just so we can be sure.
Well, I need some snapping or crunching. You want to do that sound? I can do the grunts. Just
Snap,
imagine some
crunch,
sticks.
Crunch, snap, crunch. Well, that's what happens when you're in the Bigfoot's bedroom, apparently. But
or
anyway,
the shitter. I mean,
I mean,
A lot of
depends
grunting
on
in
what
there.
you had for lunch, I guess. But
And what kind of sticks he's using to clean. But just that's another question. Does Sasquatch clean his ass, or does he just go and walk away like other animals?
well, we'll have to ask this fella if we ever run across him or you see him at the local 8 Mile rap battle or whatever y'all do up
That
there.
should be the new question that's talked about in Bigfoot circles. Does Bigfoot wipe his ass?
It's like, does a bear shit in the woods, but different?
Exactly. Does Bigfoot
But
wipe
anyway,
his ass?
what I was going to say about this one is, unfortunately, especially with like AI and everything going on now, like you have to take any of these things with a grain of salt. Like you always had to, but now I think you have to take them all with like a shaker of salt. And I'm certainly not saying this guy didn't see something weird. Again, couldn't hear the audio, but
I'll send you this guy's TikTok account because he mainly focuses on like just outdoor stuff in general. And there's some like scattered Bigfoot stuff in. So that's also kind of something to throw in. Either one, maybe it's somebody trying to promote their page, or on the other side, it's somebody that has this page and this is just kind of like a little side thing that's in there. Because I almost feel like if he was trying to like make money off of this, it'd be a bigger focus. Because if people are coming for
Yeah.
Sasquatch and it's just outdoor videos, like they're not going to stay interested. But
well, yeah, and granted, I have none of that background information, but the only thing I'll say is, historically, the reports of Sasquatch like actually attacking people are kind of few and far between. But I'm not saying it didn't happen to this guy. Who knows? I mean, I don't know what's in the upper lower peninsula, but
I will say though that finding the guy who did Finding Jay Bachochamp, it's actually on film in one of his documentaries. He was out with Linda Godfrey of all people.
Okay.
And they were shaking a tree, which of course is a sign of aggression with apes. And he had a rock thrown at him, and it actually hit him so hard in the back of the head that he actually got a minor concussion from it. So it's like, if they're rock throwing, which from this video it sounds like he got hit by a rock. Like I have talked to some people that have been hit by these rocks, and I mean they know their distance. I mean they might be trying to hit you, but they may not be trying to kill you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean it doesn't necessarily come off necessarily as fully aggressive, like they're trying to kill somebody, but. If they're rock throwing and they throw it a little bit too hard or don't know their strength, maybe, somebody might get knocked out because, I mean, Jay got a partial concussion from one, so.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly don't completely discount it. Like I said, it's so hard to trust any of these like UFO, Bigfoot things that pop up now. But yeah, definitely a cool story. I think even if, these mainstream news sources are covering these things in a kind of condescending, tongue-in-cheek manner, it's still overall a good thing because it gets people thinking and it gets people looking into these things that might not otherwise. So, I mean, I think the more mainstream notoriety and coverage that these weird fringe topics get, I mean, ultimately, I think it's a good thing because the people who are going to discount it are going to discount it anyway. And the people who are legitimately interested are going to dig deeper and find some real good, solid information.
I mean, I just thought it was amazing that they actually published this on like a mainstream news channel. And it seems kind of funny that it kind of fell after that previous episode that we did with Larry Beans Baxter saying that, Sasquatch seemed like it was kind of on the down low and, true crime was starting to come up. But it's kind of cool to know that even if it is maybe starting to not be as popularized, there's still these things that are popping it up that'll hopefully kind of bring it, maybe not to the mainstream popularity, but, just seeing it on a mainstream news channel, that may have inspired somebody to be like, hey, maybe I had a weird encounter in the woods, and now they're going to push more with that condescending attitude. Again, you're going to push people away that aren't interested anyways, but, just seeing a mainstream news article about this might bring people into the fold that would have never even looked at it in the first place that do believe in this stuff and just wanted to know that there was a community of people that are trying to discover this thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the any publicity is good publicity thing, and that's kind of how I feel about this. Like, anytime people are talking about weird things, I think at the end of the day, it's positive.
I mean, especially because those stories, like, they pop out on the internet, and the internet's like where it's hard because it's like anybody could make up some stuff on the internet. But, back in the day, you had these newspaper articles that were popping up, and it was just like a huge thing. It was like the headliner, and now it's just like those stories just don't get the same publicity, even if it is something like as big as the Hopkinsville Goblins, for example, or something. Like, even prime example, like the Peruvian face peelers. Everybody in the community knows about it. It's hugely talked about in the community, but it wasn't really publicized on any mainstream channels. even if it was some type of like human intervention. I mean, I don't even know what the wrap up ended up being with that, even if it did have a wrap up. I mean,
Well, that's just one of those things. There's just so much information, period. Now, I mean, we moved on from a literal fucking presidential assassination attempt in like a week. So, I mean, Bigfoot and fucking Peruvian space aliens, that can't stay in the consciousness very long. You know, it's just on to the next thing. But
and they had another congressional hearing actually on UFOs, and I don't know if you actually checked into that. It happened a couple days ago.
I try my best to avoid all those congressional hearings. I could not care less about any of those.
You get no information, dude. Any question they ask that's like something that you might actually want to know is like, we have to discuss that behind closed doors.
It's at the very best a controlled narrative, and truthfully, as you know, and probably a lot of our listeners do, like aliens, UFOs used to be my big thing. That was like my gateway into all this other stuff. And in light of like all these congressional hearings and stuff, I've really lost a lot of my luster for
maybe aliens. That was the intention.
Yeah, like
push people away from the phenomenon that were into the phenomenon.
Yeah, I'm just kind of over it at this point. And now, you know, we talk about cryptids and conspiracies and stuff like that way more than we talk about aliens, because I just, yeah, all that shit's just soured me on it so much. It's almost like when they made the new Star Wars sequels, like just don't care about Star Wars anymore. Same thing.
Yep, that's kind of what happened to me. That's why I'm watching Star Trek again now. So just push me back in the arms of Star Trek.
Hey, live long and prosper.
Ain't that the truth? Until I get to the new ones, because I don't know, I've heard that those ones may, you know, kind of have the same flow going as the new Star Wars, but at least I can enjoy the old series, you know. Yeah, the original series and Next Generation will always be classics. So same with Star Wars. I mean, episode 4 through 6 always be a classic. Depending on the generation, 1 through 3 will always be a classic. After that, that's when they kind of start losing track.
All right, man. Well, thank you for bringing that article/video in. That was kind of a fun thing to do. I think it's always cool when we do like current topical things. So yeah, that was a good one. You got anything else to add?
I don't think I have anything else to add on to this one, other than, like, I want to believe it. I've actually tried to contact this guy. Haven't had any luck yet, but if I do have any luck...
It's because he's still knocked out in the woods.
Yeah, he's still out in the woods. I don't know. He's just face down in the middle of a... He's another missing 411, or he will be.
He's standing in a corner of an old abandoned shack in the woods waiting for the Blair Witch to kill him.
Staring at the wall, just waiting for somebody with the camera to walk up so he can go...
Yep, that's what's going on.
But yes, I want to believe it, but we'll see. If I get any more information on it, though, I'll double back with you guys and let you know. But if you guys have anything to contribute to the show, Orin, why don't you let them know what they can contribute to the show?
Yeah, so if you guys want us to talk about anything on this show, it can be an article, it can be a video clip like we talked about today, it can be just a question that you guys have, it can be something serious, it can be something jokey, it can even be something not paranormal related at all. Like, for some reason, I really want somebody to ask us like a totally off-the-wall, not paranormal question, like ask us what our favorite movie is or some shit like that, so we can just talk about something weird, but, well, something weird, different than the weird shit we normally talk about. But anyway,
we can do that for fun in a couple weeks anyways. Why not?
Submit those questions. I've been Orin.
And just another side note before we get into who we are, of course, you guys can submit those questions to bizarreencounters@outlook.com. And he's been Orin, of course. I've been Shane. And this has been Bizarre Inquiries, the place where we start off with a question, an article, whatever you want to call it, and we let our minds wander into whatever it happens to degrade itself into. And more often than not, it degrades. On this one, it seemed like it didn't, so we kind of kept it topical. But until next time...
pretty PG.
Yeah, for the most part. See, this is one of the ones that will, of course, go onto the YouTube. But if you want the more raunchy episodes, you guys are going to have to check those ones out on the Patreon. But for the most part, YouTube show now. But
yeah, you can submit naughty questions too if you want to.
Yeah, we'll talk about those on the After Dark or on the OnlyFans.
Ayo.
Ayo.
Hunting boy was knocked out by Sasquatch.
Those rock-throwing bastards!